This week on Lemon's Car Spotting.
Hey, this is Lemon's Car Spotting with Nick and Eric. You guys know the drill. Let's go.
Yeah, let's see what we... Oh, well, what is happening? I mean, obviously there's a tractor and there's also a tractor happening here.
Right.
Some kind of F-body, I think, being reclaimed by nature, it looks like, in the bushes, the shrubs, the trees growing probably through it. Looks like a late 70s Camaro, I think.
Yeah, sure.
If I was going to put a bet on it. I mean, it's got the crucial thing there is the window louvers, not just on the back, but also on the quarter window.
Right.
I mean, actually, that's not even the quarter window. It's just, it wraps around in multiple pieces. Amazing. This is perfect.
Yeah, this is good. First of all, credit to Eric Lundy for calling this Camaroflage. And, this is exactly the kind of car that shows up like, I don't know where you got a classic piece of American muscle for $500. From the bushes, man. Like, not difficult.
Yeah, can't make that up.
Speaking of Americans, sort of.
Yeah.
This is, of course, a Ford Sierra, which we got in this country as a Murkur XR4 Ti. Now, the good news, bad news with that for us was that we only got whatever the sporty version was, which had the little wing, it had the turbo motor. I have no idea what the marketing logic was behind bringing that to this country. But this from Latvia Car Spotting is a reminder that overseas, they got the real terrible base model version that, of course, Judge Sajeev in Texas imported to drive around in Texas, when he could have just got a Murkur. But so this is a pretty sad sack automobile, I gotta say. All apologies to Sajeev.
Yeah, boy. I mean, this, we have Mike Harrell, who occasionally imports really weird, mundane British cars, owing to the 25-year law. I mean, you could, in theory, import a Ford Sierra base model, which is what Sajeev did. I don't know why everybody isn't doing that. Obviously, it's an amazing platform.
It's a way to beat the system. I don't know.
Oh, baby.
Max Wedge.
Yeah. I was the one who pulled these photos. So I read the whole story here. Worth reading. Somebody just dumped a Max Wedge on a curb somewhere in California.
Amazing.
That is unbelievable in so many ways, because everybody will tell you on the internet, especially Mopar people, that these are no doubt like $90,000 cars. Now, what is it really? It's a Dodge Polara with a 413 and like the cross ram intake on it. And I think that's kind of everything. They used them in the early 60s as like the street eliminator or whatever the NHRA class was, where basically you buy a car at the dealership, show up with it and race. That is what is going on here. The Max Wedge name, Wedge engine, and then they maxed it out. So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else you say about it. There it is. Somebody dumped one on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Well, I just want to point out, this is in Downey, California, SoCal. And then one of the comments is Cars of Santa Barbara. I hope somebody saved that. Like, guess what, Cars of Santa Barbara? You are the nearest person to this car that has commented on this post, which means you have elected yourself to save it. So there you go. Otherwise, off to the crusher. All right. Okay. I'm just going to look at it on thumbnail view for a second to see if I can figure out what in the South Korea is happening. It looks like we've got a little 3-door hatchback and a little 5-door hatchback. Both Hyundais, both Elantras, Kia Rio, something. I don't know. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay. 2 different models, according to Vehicle Obscurities. Hyundai Accent 3-door next to a Hyundai Elantra Touring.
Don't forget the touring.
Don't forget the touring. Well, they are cars. And I was going to say something positive about the fact that, the 3-door hatch, I think, is just dead in this country. And the 5-door hatch is probably soon behind it because everybody wants to drive some kind of Nissan Murano derived design, which I can't for the life of me understand. So I guess I was going to say something positive along those lines, but I almost feel like these are the two cars that maybe were responsible for the death of these two segments.
That's a fair point, I think. This, especially the 3-door Accent or whatever it was, that generation of Hyundai done pretty well in lemons. The later one, not so much. And of course, you can buy a 100,001 mile Hyundai Elantra for about $9 because they are completely valueless once they're out of warranty. So
they sure are.
The next oil change going to total either of that car. So they've obviously been driving like 9 years without oil changes.
The Hyundai experience.
That's right. Oh, baby.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, still don't get it. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
So it's a Jaguar S-Type, I think.
Uh-huh.
It says S on the door.
No, it doesn't. It says Jaguars on the door.
That's right. Maybe it's actually driven by the large cat. Hard to say. Can't block 34. Excellent Instagram handle, by the way. I don't know what to say about this. Maybe it's the performance version. There's reference to I owned a R and won a lemon law case with it. Not terribly surprised by any of the words in that statement. We have had a Thunderbird, which is the same engine. Also was a lemon law car. We have not had an S-Type yet. So there you have it. Bring an S-Type to lemons. No one will question its $500-ness who really knows what they're talking about anyway.
Yeah, that is very true. I thought initially that the graphic on the back was like the half silhouette of the leaping cat, but now I have no idea what it is. Then I thought it was just a flaw in the paint, like, the paint had just ripped off in a sheet. And now I'm back to just being confused. So,
yeah, I really want to
bring one.
Know what the hood graphic is.
Oh, that's got to be the Jag face, right? Doesn't it? Yeah.
Man, Jaguars.
Last car of the week. Oh, man. Back to our roots, we had an Aurora fielded by Tony Quiroga and the team from Car and Driver magazine in the very first Lemons race in 2006. And there's a great photo of it driving up on the 600-pound hard as a rock tractor tire that was used as a quote-unquote safety barrier there at Altamont Speedway. This is a V8. This V8 famously was used in some form as a spec motor for IndyCar. Is that right?
Yep.
So, it's got racing provenance in a way that a lot of other supposedly performance engines don't have. So I don't see how you could not win a Lemons race using an Oldsmobile Aurora.
Yeah, it's pretty much the guaranteed domination right there. The best part of the Olds Aurora V8 is that Carroll Shelby looked at it and said, man, I know what that needs to be in. It needs to go in my specialty supercar, the Shelby Series 1. One of the cars from Gran Turismo 2, I think, where it was like, oh, man, look at that thing. Did not come with all of the downfalls in the video game of the Olds Aurora V8. So, anyway, total provenance in all forms. I can't believe we haven't had one in the last 16 years.
I think we've had but the one.
Yep.
There was one in the very first race. And understandably, I think we thought that's just going to be a common thing from here on out. And nope, first race, never seen since. All right, let's see. You've got the hooptiest.
I've got the hooptiest, as hoopty as a Max Wedge abandoned on the sidewalk with the plates ripped off. You know what? That's it. I was going to go with the Camaro in the trees, but that's kind of the normal state of a 77 Camaro. This is amazing that this would happen at all, and that some Mopar person would have the, I don't even know what the right word for it is. The profound sadness to just leave it. Maybe it was a Chevy guy. I don't know, but fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to leave it right here. And this is my Lemons build of the week for obvious reasons. It's old. It's got cool graphics. We've never had one in the race. I mean, it ticks all of the boxes for something that we want to see turned into a Lemons car. Initially, I thought, like, oh, this could be a sad story where it got stolen and dumped. But then reading the caption, it says it has been sitting under a tree for years, judging by the accumulation of leaves by the trunk seal. So that really hints at it was abandoned somewhere. The guy was like, I want it to be abandoned other than in my backyard. He put it on the back of a trailer, pushed it off at some moderate but not high speed, watched it roll onto the curb, and then just set off into the sunset. So you can pick up where that guy left off and turn this into an amazing Lemons racing machine.
You know, the beauty part of that is all you would need is to put a roll cage in it, because it even has numbers on it already. If you registered as number 64, you're in good shape.
You're saving money on paint already.
That's right.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Lemons Car Spotting this week. Keep tagging your photos with hashtag Lemons Car Spotting on Instagram. We'll find them and maybe feature them on this show. It's not just Max Wedge. It's the Max.
That's right. Man, the Max Wedge Verstappen.